I'm trying not to look at your questions because otherwise I'm going to like reread
No,
it.
these are secrets. Hi guys, and welcome to the Call Your YouTube channel. I'm Lilac and I'm here today with Lily from Best Barking Behaviour. And so basically Lily asked you guys to submit some of your questions for her, so we've got them here on these cards, and I've also added in a few surprises. So we're going to go through and we're going to ask Lily our top 15 questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, go on, let's go.
Okay. Oh, also, I feel like we need to introduce him. This is Maple. This is my Fox Red Labrador. Obviously, I have to say Fox Red. And then Lily, do you want to tell us who's on your lap?
This is Ada, my black Labrador.
She's gorgeous. How old is Ada?
She's 5. She's just turned 5. Sorry, I forgot how old you were.
She's crying about that.
Just turned 5. You have.
Hi.
It was your birthday last week.
So, without further ado, let's go into the questions.
Okay.
So, the first one, Lily, is how do you balance 4 dogs, a horse, and a business?
I just don't have any spare time. It is my whole entire life. I wake up and it's animals or it's work, and they're all entwined. I just don't rest. I don't balance it, to be honest, is your answer.
You don't.
There's no balance.
No, I feel like because you've got 4 dogs, you've got cats as well, haven't you?
3 cats, 2 rescue small furries, and a horse.
Yeah.
It's go. I'm tired all the time, 24/7, but I love it, so it's fine.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
And my animals are my job, so it's entwined, so it's fine.
Do you have a proud dog mum moment?
Ada at Crafts, or Bailey at Crafts. So Bailey's my golden retriever. I went to Crafts this year and they came along as like influencer dogs, and to be able to have Ada there was really big because Ada is dog reactive, which you wouldn't know right now because she's literally got Maple on her bum. And Bailey is our rescue golden retriever, and he has been quite a lot of hard work, and to get him to the point where he could go to Crafts and come and do all of that was an incredible moment for me. So those are definitely my proud mum moments.
Aww.
I think.
No, those are lovely. Those are perfect. What is your favourite Koya product?
Oh, see,
that's a big one. That
I used to have said the freeze-dried raw food, but I use it as treats. I'm now actually going to say the Kibble Plus, because I hand feed it to Joey every morning for his breakfast, or I put it in an enrichment toy, and he loves it. And his like drive for his breakfast has gone up so much. Like he just absolutely loves his breakfast now. So I think I'm going to change my answer to Kibble Plus now.
Oh, that's so interesting. We were doing some filming a minute ago, and we had like the freeze-dried food out, and he was just like head in there trying to get it, wasn't he?
He loves all of it. I mean, all of my dogs love it. There's not a single product.
What are you doing?
You good?
She's like, why aren't we talking about me? Why are we talking about Joey?
There isn't a single product they don't like. They don't like. Are you good? You hungry? Yeah.
She's I'm hungry. She's like, talk about Koya, it's making me hungry. The question is, why did you choose to rescue? Because obviously Bailey, your golden retriever, is a rescue.
Minnie's also a rescue. Yeah. All 3 cats are rescues. 2 small fairies are, and the horses.
Yeah.
It's more. I feel like because I have the knowledge to be able to do so, I can give an animal a home that perhaps is a bit more of a difficult upbringing.
Yeah.
And also, to be honest, half the time it's not something that I meant to do. It was just they kind of all fell into my hands. So like both the dogs, the Bailey came with my other half. Minnie I was given. The cats, some of them I looked for, but some of them I was given. The horse I didn't mean to get. But it's nice to get something a home that perhaps needs a bit more hard work. And I just can't say no to a sad story, so I ended up taking them home.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. I've got my spaniel's a rescue as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, she's a rescue, and I've got a rescue horse. Both of my horses are rescues.
I just can't say no. If I see their little face and I think, oh well, I could look after you.
Okie dokie. What is a common misconception people have about dogs that you wish you could correct?
I think people think that they are naughty just to spite us, so they think they're naughty just because they're stubborn or because they're just a naughty dog, and I think people just don't understand that actually if your dog is not listening to you, there's a reason for it. They're not just not listening to you for fun. I think a lot of people they're purposely doing this, purposely doing that. Dogs don't do anything on purpose. It's how with dog training, to be honest, it's us. It's genetics and breed come into it, but actually it's what we've taught them to do. So dogs aren't just being naughty to spite your face.
No.
That's a big one, I think, for me.
I think leading on that, something that I heard recently, I think it might have actually been from you, is that when it comes to languages, obviously dogs don't speak English, but we have trained them to listen
I did a
to
video
words.
about that.
And I think that's so important, is we forget that the way they communicate, we might think they're doing something naughty, but that's just how they're communicating with us. They can't talk English, and we spend so much time teaching them our language. Why don't we learn their language?
Exactly.
Which is what you said, and I thought that was so powerful.
Because you see people being like, no to the dog, and the dog doesn't know what no means, or they're saying to them, why can't you do this? And I'm like, your dog doesn't know what you're saying. Like, they actually don't know what you're asking them. We have to teach them to understand what we're actually wanting from them.
Yeah. What is the funniest thing your dog has ever done?
Do you know something that Joey did, was actually was to do with you guys? It was 2 years ago. So would you have been there 2 years ago?
I was the one who launched the social media channels and everything. And I was there, yeah.
2 years ago, we came to your stand at Crafts, and Joey knocked over your whole stand.
Did he?
He knocked over your whole stand. It was his first ever year at Crafts, and he came barreling in and he knocked it all over. And it was a bloke there, I don't know who he was, and he was like, "Oh my god, I got it on camera." He was like, and then he was like, "Can you make him do it again so I can film it from this angle?" And I was like, I don't know if I can redo that. And then at the same event, he jumped up onto another stand, up onto their table, and he again knocked it over. And obviously, it wasn't funny, but it was pretty funny. And again, all the brands loved it, and they were like, "This is amazing content." So that was pretty funny.
Oh,
it was very naughty, but it was funny.
Oh, I love him. He's so sweet. Describe your perfect dog day.
Perfect dog day. So we've literally just had a perfect dog day recently for my birthday. So we went, and it was the ideal day. We were staying in Wales.
If you were a dog, what breed would you be?
If I was a dog, what breed I'd be a Labrador. Labradors are the friendliest, happiest, goofiest animals ever.
If you had to have one breed, I think I know the answer to this, for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Labradors. I love a Labrador. I actually did Labradors for my dissertation at uni, so my whole entire dissertation was on Labradors. They were like my fixation when I was that age. And the first puppy I got when I graduated was you. And if I had my way, I'd have a house full of Labradors. And you're actually what I want next. I want a fox red lab next.
With maybe less attitude.
Just a smidge. But no, I like the attitude. I like a bit of sass on the dog.
Is regression during adolescence normal?
So normal, and I think people forget it. And I think it's also people forget to actually train their teenage dogs. I think a lot of people get puppies, do all the training, you smash it, you've got like an 8-month-old puppy who's actually really well behaved. Regression comes in, but at that point people have stopped rewarding their dogs. I think people teach them recall when they're little, and then they kind of forget to reward their dog, and they kind of forget to carry on training. I think people think training is just like a few months of their life, and then once they're trained, that's it for life. Whereas obviously, as you know, it's constantly trying to keep rewarding, keep them happy, keep them enjoying everything. So yeah, I think regression is really normal, and I think regression can be worse if you're not prepared for it. I think if you're prepared and you are physically, still training and you're still doing mental fulfillment, then it's not so bad. But I think a lot of people kind of don't see it coming until it's full blown come in. And I think some breeds are worse. Like, I would argue Labradors are horrible teenagers.
Yeah, she was immaculately behaved when she was a puppy, and then she was in constant training anyway with me. But you did notice, because you just noticed the recall would just
it just goes. And I always get messages from clients being like, "Oh my god, my 12-month-old dog's suddenly not behaving, so he doesn't know sit." And I'm like, "It's fine." I was like, "Just go back to basics, go back to the beginning. I promise you, they'll be fine."
Yeah, and I found with her, she picked it up a lot more easily.
Yeah, because they already know, don't they? It's just a reminder.
How long did it take you to train Joey?
Train Joey? He's still in training now. So he's 2.5, and I'm still doing things with him now. I would say when he got to maybe 2 was the point where I thought, you are actually, you're quite enjoyable now. Like, his recall was pretty good. His heel work was pretty good. His heel work, I trained him by 6 months old. Wow. And he's never really gone backwards in that. His recall, we had a real sticky situation in that adolescent period where I thought, oh my God, you are doing my head in. Like, he really went backwards. And I think only when we really got to 2 years old did I think, actually, you're quite enjoyable. His recall was there. His heel work was there. You know, like toilet training, I trained him in a few weeks. Like, things like that were quick. I'd say it's only really in the last like half a year or so that I thought, actually, you were quite a nice, settled, neutral, grown up. And like, still now, I'm still doing lots of trick training and teaching him new things. But like, on the basics, I think 2 is probably an age where you can expect them to kind of But it depends what you're training. It depends what you want from them. It depends on your expectations from them, because I think every dog's so different, and it depends what you as a human want 100%. Your dog to want to do. Because like, my version of trained might be completely different to your version, and completely different to you guys' version. Like, it's very subjective.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with that. On to do with training, what are the best training treats?
Koya, obviously. The Koya freeze-dried is obviously that.
Correct answer.
And anything that's high value to your dogs, anything that's high in meat, you know, that your dog finds really tasty.
Yeah.
And every dog is completely different. So have a look at playing us with different flavours and things. So for example, my dogs love the fish Koya. If I get that out, my dogs are literally like attached to me, like they won't go anywhere. Whereas like some of the flavours they're not as bothered about, they still love it, but like I think fish is their like
it's very
top
smelly
tier
as well, and it's so smelly. But that dogs love that. It gives them something to like have to, I don't know, it just incentivizes them, doesn't it?
So I think every dog's individual. So as much as I can say my dogs love fish Koya, your dogs might love the beef Koya more. So I think always have a bit of an experiment. I always like to get the smaller boxes or the little bags first, and then you can have a real good try. And then I normally buy the massive, like, is it 500 grams? 750 gram, the massive boxes.
We don't mess around.
No, and then I buy it in bulk once. I know exactly what flavour is their like top tier one.
Yeah. Perfect. Will you be at any events this year?
So we will be at Tatton Park Dog Fest, we will be at Bristol Dog Fest, and I think that's actually it for this year.
Yeah.
So we've obviously already done Crufts.
Yeah.
I might go to Pat's, but obviously Pat's isn't really it's more business people. Might go to that. Yeah.
It's not a consumer show, it's a trade show.
So I might go to that. But apart from that, I don't actually have masses booked in this year.
No.
I'm kind of a bit quieter. And then next year it'll be Crafts, it'll be Dog Fest again. I would like to go to Goodwoof.
Oh, Goodwoof, yeah.
Next year. It's just a little bit far from us, so it's just a little bit out of our. We need to camp really if we're going to go to it.
Yeah.
But you know, and I'd like to do dog stuff, all that kind of thing. It's just traveling. It's a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got 4 and I've got all the animals at home as well.
It's hard to find cover for them.
Yeah.
What is the best way to get dogs to bond?
To bond, spend time with them and play with them. I think people forget to play with their dog. Like all the time I see people doing training with the dog and they're so monotone and it's quite boring. And actually run with your dog, play with your dog, use a high-pitched voice, like play with them. I think that's the biggest thing I can always say is just play. I mean, obviously you do lots of play with your dogs, don't you, with your gun dog training and stuff.
Yeah.
Like dogs just really want to have fun, and I think people almost forget to have fun with them because they're so focused on getting a pretty heel or a pretty sit that they forget to actually enjoy them and like take them for adventures, like sit let them on the sofa and have a cuddle with them, like, you know, do all that kind of thing with them. If you're out the house all day and you're not actually spending time with them, you know, you're not going to have such a close bond. And I'm not saying don't go to work, but when you're home from work, do something with them, like, you know, enjoy them.
My 4-month-old isn't friendly with other dogs. Any advice?
So I would argue for a 4-month-old puppy, I would argue there's no aggression in a 4-month-old puppy. If they are showing signs they're not happy with dogs, I would argue it's probably fear-based because they're scared of them.
Yeah.
And because they're scared, so dogs do fight or flight. So if they can't escape because they're on a lead or something, they're going to do fight, which means they're maybe snapping or they're showing their lip or they're, you know, something like that. A 4-month-old puppy is very unlikely it's aggressive or actually got anything like that wrong with it. So it's not that it's not friendly towards dogs, it's probably it's scared and it doesn't know what to do, and because it doesn't know what to do, it's panicking and lashing out. So I'd probably, and I know this isn't the answer people want, but I'd probably see a trainer in person to really see what is going on there, because as much as I can say over the internet do this and that, if you've got a dog who is terrified of other dogs, actually you might have to go, you know, there's a lot of layers to it, there's a lot of different things you can do, but the best thing you can do just from this kind of point is confidence building. So just lots and lots of building up the confidence, not making them say hello to dogs, but being you know, something like this where you've got a dog over there in the corner, you can have your dog here and just be rewarding them and getting them used to being in a room with a dog.
Find like a neutral dog that isn't bothered by other
really
dogs.
Chill.
Really calm, and just let them just be present but not necessarily interacting.
Because you might find at the minute you're almost forcing them to say hello and your dog's panicking, that's why they're lashing out. Whereas if you actually let them advocate for their space, let them calm, let them chill, and let them realise that dogs aren't this big scary thing. You know, it might be things that happen at the breeder, it might be genetics, you know, there's so many things that goes into it. So definitely see if someone in person can help you, or even a trainer's dog. Like I sometimes use Ada as a stooge dog, so if I've got a dog who's scared, we'll take Ada, and because Ada's quite chill and neutral, they kind of use her as an example. So
and it says a lot, actually. Sorry, not to be off, but you said before Ada used to be dog reactive, and now you are using her as that neutral dog. So it does show that if your dog is, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, like these behaviours are starting to become more and more of a thing, there are ways to help your dog, because
100%.
Ada is the perfect example of that.
And even she still has her bad days, so she still can react to dogs,
They're
but she
animals.
wouldn't know. And it's all about your management and what you're doing with them, and it's also you reading your dog's body language. Which is probably what's happening with the puppy is you're not reading your dog showing all these signs they're unhappy, and then your dog's doing a massive side, and that's only when you're noticing. Whereas obviously, actually, if you can really, and obviously, you wouldn't know if you didn't look it up, but like looking at dog body language is so helpful, because I know if Ada's uncomfortable, and I'll take her out of that situation before she's reacted. Whereas sometimes, which we wouldn't know if you don't know any better, sometimes we push them a bit too far and then they react and we go, oh my god, what happened? But actually, if you can learn the little signs, like even things like tail wagging doesn't necessarily mean they're happy. Little things like that can be really helpful.
Perfect. Well, that is our 15 questions done. Thank you, Lily, so much for joining us
Very
on
welcome.
the sofa. And for Ada, she's now asleep down there. She couldn't be bothered to stick around. But no, it's been great talking to you. And yeah, if you have any comments for Lily, drop them down in the comments. And you never know, she might reply.
Thanks for having me.